Yeah. My fault, y'all. That's nasty.
Good, yeah.
How everyone doing today?
All right,
Cool. There we go. We got Tone talking.
What's the mentality being back home for you guys now?
Defend the house. They win. When we went out there, we were trying to do what we could. We couldn't get the 2 wins. We couldn't get a win. All right, cool. Move on. Next play, next game. And now we just got to bring a different energy, a different light, and a different positivity coming into Game 3.
Dereck, the lob game for you guys was working so well through the first 3 rounds. What can you guys do to get that going tomorrow night?
Just really getting out in pace. I feel like whenever they slow us down and we ended up playing one-on-one, we can't get into our pick and roll game because, the defense is pulled in and they're expecting it. But whenever we are out in transition, I set a high screen at half court and Tatum doesn't know if he's going to step up or Porzingis doesn't know if he's going to step up. That's the game that we need to get into. Just being able to move the ball, get out and run, and make sure that we're not so stagnant with the ball.
Dereck, what's the challenge of playing against a team that has 2 floor spacing 5s, so they have spacing almost the entire game?
It's just understanding the defensive principles. Instead of me protecting the paint, it's me rotating to either wing, rotating the corner. So it's just understanding where you're on the floor, understanding if you see where you need to rotate is getting there. Because, there was one time where Jaylen Brown cut, I was supposed to rotate corner. I thought he was there, but he was at the rim. So it's just always moving your head, keeping your head in the swivel, and understanding where you are, who's in the game.
It was loud in that building, games 1 and 2. What are you expecting from your crowd tomorrow night?
Oh, they're going to be loud. I honestly didn't think it was that loud. And, there's a bunch of rumors about, how Boston's going to be so loud, so nasty, and I thought it was going to be worse. So just knowing that, it just makes you just want to go out there and perform in front of your home crowd.
Boston hasn't lost a game on the road so far this postseason. What do you guys need to do to make it challenging for them here?
Come out there, punch them in the mouth, Where I feel like we were doing a great job of guarding them, a great job of just going shot for shot with them the majority of the game. A lot of the game just came down to us not being as sound at the defensive end in the fourth quarter, us making free throws and us being able to take care of the ball.
Except for Kyrie, you guys never played in the finals. Is there something that you already learned that you didn't know about the finals?
I feel like whenever you're in games like this, you find out who you really are. You understand what you really want out of this. Who you really are. Just understanding that whenever you're on the bench, you hear your teammates just locked into the game. There's nothing else going on in the world that could take your focus away from what's going on in the finals. There's no other feeling that you want to be in. There's no other place you want to be.
Dereck, you've been mic'd up quite a few times this postseason. What's that process like?
It's kind of hard to make sure I don't slip up and say anything too inappropriate or too mean. But I'm just out there trying to make sure my people hear me. Everybody in the team knows that if I'm mic'd up, making sure you don't say anything too crazy to me. But they know that I'm gonna talk to them on the defensive side, talk to them on the offensive side, and even if they fall down, I'm picking them back up, making sure they get positive words of encouragement.
Have you enjoyed doing it? Like, it seems like they're...
I feel like they keep coming back to me because I feel like they like what they're getting. So I'm gonna continue to put on the show, continue to do what I do and talk.
What are some of the keys to beating a team that hasn't lost a game in over a month?
Just continue to be aggressive. Try to win each possession. Try to win the little battles. The rebounding game, the diving on the floor, the loose balls. All the little things is going to come down to a win. It's not just the big shots. It's not just the big plays. It's the little plays that's going to give us the boost, to give us the extra steps that we need so we can get a fresh breath of fresh air. There we go.
Kyrie struggled a bit at home, on the road, 0 for 8 3-pointers, what have you, in Boston. What do you expect from him here at home in Game 3?
I feel like he's going to be comfortable. He's going to get into his game. He's going to get to his spots and understand that, if he's not making threes, he's going to get to the rim. If he's not getting to the rim, he's got his mid-range game, and he's always going to draw too. So he's going to be able to find people spotting up, find people on the roll, cutting, and just being able to play a good game of basketball.
Dereck, how would you describe Daniel Gafford as a player, and what was your first impressions of him, and what has he meant to this team?
Gassman, big bro, other Twin Tower. We go out there, we're the voices on the floor, we're the heartbeat, making sure that when we're in, we're telling everybody to press up, we're telling everybody we need to get out and run, and just playing with a certain level of confidence. You have someone talking behind you, knowing that you don't have to be as defensively sound, you just have to send them to the big. And having that happen, it just develops that much trust, develops that much more chemistry with a team that has just been together for, only a couple of months. So it just makes us know that we got each other's backs.
What do you feel like difference between Boston and some other teams you guys have faced so far in the postseason?
You could say that they've spread out, they space the floor, they do all that, but they're a very sound team. They understand what they're going to do, they understand what they're going to do without talking. They read each other, they know how to play off of each other because they've been a team for a while. They know how to play with each other. So whenever you're playing a team like that, you got to be even more dialed into what's going on in the court, understanding who's matchups, who's on the floor, and how to guard them and how to exploit their weaknesses.
Dereck, how was Coach Sweeney helping you in the
I wouldn't be here without Sween. No. Me and Sween workouts go way back to, I think 3 days after I was drafted. I couldn't make a left-hand hook. So just knowing that whenever I started versus where I am now, I wouldn't be here without Sweeney, pushing me, encouraging me, watching consistent film, and understanding how to read the game. He's always going to be that little, devil on the shoulder telling you to go harder. But, that's an amazing person to have your back, There you go.
When you look at your defense this postseason, you guys have deterred a lot of guys in the paint. Boston is down there pretty easily. If anything, just to touch the paint, kick out. What's been so difficult for you guys defending the paint this series?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I feel like our main focus has been getting them off the three-point line because, I feel like they start, threes are going to beat teams more than twos. So we're going to play the game and let them get to the rim, let them play with the ball, take a shot at 4 seconds left on the clock. Or if they got to take a pull-up two, then they take a pull-up two and we take the ball out and we get going. But whenever they drive into the paint, everyone clashes, they get a kick-out three, they get another trail three, they get another transition three. That's what's going to beat us. So we know that if we're going to let them make some shots because they're all going to be great players. So we're going to let them take the twos and we're not going to let them take the threes.
Dereck, I apologize if you've been asked this a lot, but have you allowed yourself to step back and think about the fact that you're in the NBA Finals as a rookie?
I feel like that's kind of hard to do. I've been so lost in the moment of just trying to understand, try to get better, and just try to adapt. I haven't had a second to be like, shit, I'm 20 and I'm in the NBA Finals. I really don't. I don't think I'm 20. I feel like I'm 25. This year has felt like a long time, but I've just been in a mindset of understanding the day-to-day situations and what I need to do to get better and prepare for tomorrow.
Kyrie's only got 28 points in his first two games. What do you guys got to do to get him going?
Make sure that we're getting him to his spots. There's going to be two and a half people trying to come in and defend him, trying to make sure he's getting uncomfortable or try to get the ball out of his hands. Okay, we're going to get him in transition. We're going to get him a couple easy buckets so he has a nice touch and he's starting to feel his rhythm. And then whenever he bangs a three in and everyone's like, oh, wow, that's not new to us. We know that he's going to take some time to, get into his rhythm, get into what he needs to. And whenever he does, that's when everyone's going to quiet down.
Porzingis got a little banged up in game two. What did you guys do well against him in particular in game two?
Hit him. I feel like that was one of the main things that we needed to do was come out and be more physical. No matter if that's screens, rolling, rebounding, or even just hitting guys when they're boxing you out. Just trying to be the aggressor. Whenever they came out and they punched us the first game, we knew that we needed to do something different in the second game. That's what we did.
Hey Dereck, apologies if you've already been asked this, but I know a lot of you guys were emphasizing that you guys need to communicate more on defense. Is there anything you guys did coming days of practice to put an emphasis on that?
Just understanding our principles. We question our principles. We question our talk with one another, not the coaches, but understanding what we're thinking when we're in those moments. Everyone's going to think about one thing, but you're never really going to know what they're thinking until you ask and talk. So it's just understanding how each of us view the game and talking to one another to make sure that we can challenge each other and we can understand what we are all thinking so that we can help each other out in the defensive end.
Do you have any examples of that? Something that kind of cleared up after you guys talked about it?
For example, just understanding we're trying to keep the big man low, not allowing Kyrie or Josh Green to be low and trying to have either me, Maxey, or Gaff be low, and even PJ. Trying to either get someone to kick out to go corner or understanding that there's going to be a big on the rotation and a four guard in the five.
Dereck.
What's up, Key?
Love the basketball, man. What's your favorite song on the album? Brother.
That's a real hard question, man. I gotta re-listen to it if I'm being honest.
All right.
For real?
Another question.
Let me hear it.
Same draft class. The beginning. Did you think not only would you be starting and playing, but obviously your role changed in the middle of the year? Would you think you'd be into the finals?
Coming into the season, I definitely didn't think I was going to the finals. I thought it was going to be a long, hard journey of trying to, fight for my spot, fighting who I could be. But, I'm just grateful for coming to a team like Dallas. You know, they kind of set me up well, and you know, they told me what I needed to do. And when it came to there, I was just trying to exploit what they told me to do. You know, let's not blow past the fact my man's holding it down in Utah too. I got you, my boy.
Good seeing you, man.
Of course. We good? Got you. Everyone